All right, so here we are today in today's segment at Beyond the Pump. We are discussing the top 5 lower body leg exercises. We're going to stay away from the glutes today so we can have that one banked up for later. But yeah, gents, what are the 5 ways that people can grow their legs?
Definitely doing calf raises in the shower every time you shower.
That's a good one.
That's absolutely by far the best thing that needs to be in every single person's program. I'm totally joking.
I mean, you might be onto something because you have to grip with your toes so hard not to slip and get a concussion.
I mean, that's actually a motivator. Like, just do it and do it well. Don't let that, fuck you up. So, Brandon, number 5 on this list. What is the 5th best leg exercise that everybody needs to be including in their workout programs right now for their clients?
I'm going with leg press. Why? Yeah. What?
Okay.
I think it's an easily accessible exercise that a lot of gyms have. So it's something that anyone can really incorporate into their programming, especially if you're working with a coach via online or in person. And there's so many variations that you can do with this exercise, and it's allows you to really focus on it without having to be too conscious about your form. It is really easy to go too heavy, so just be cautious of that. But like anything, you want to work up to it. And so yeah, leg press, I think it's great, good for the legs.
Leg press. I wasn't expecting that one. I wasn't expecting that one coming out of you. But okay, all right. Number 5.
He pivoted on us.
I mean, listen, I love a good leg press, and it makes you feel strong because you can stack some weight on there without it having to be like true weight that's putting you at a high risk of injury. So now that I kind of work through that a little bit more in my head, I actually don't hate that. It's just not where I expected it to go. So number 5, leg press. Number 4, Andrew, what do you got?
There's so many options. I would say that if we're talking about building bigger legs, I'm going to go with a free weight, and I'm going to say a Barbell Zurcher Reverse Lunge. So basically what that entails is you have the barbell and you're holding it the same way that you would carry a person. So you hold it in the crook of your elbows. Some people put their hands, on top of each other. I prefer to keep my hands separate. You never know when you're going to have to run somebody out of a building, right? So it just has a utilitarian factor that I find really helpful. It also really drives home a lot of core stabilization because the way that you're holding the weight is very similar to a goblet squat, which is basically where you hold something out in front of you a little bit and it forces you to have to stabilize your spine a little more than having a front rack or a back rack in a front squat or a back squat. So between that, and I find that a lot of people have a lot of asymmetries left to right. So that's where I say the reverse lunge tends to be a great one for that. So that way you get, one leg, both legs are effectively having to work, and you overcome something called a bilateral force deficit, which basically means that you should theoretically be able to do 60% of what you could maximally do on one leg. And so you overload that leg a little bit easier. So that's one of the reasons why I really like that for legs specifically. And it doesn't really put your spine under as much stress as if you had like a 300, 400, 500 pound barbell on your back. So high reward, low risk.
Okay. For those of you trying to figure out how to do that one, Google it.
We'll build a movement library for you.
Brandon, number 3. What is the 3rd best leg exercise that needs to be included on every client's program?
I'm going with lunges, Steve. I'm going to go with just kidding. I don't know why I just said that. No, I'm going with squats. You had me all messed up from the lunges. It's on top of mine. I was like, I hate lunges. I hate lunges so much. So it's on top of mine. I'm going with squats, Steve. And again, squats, I think a lot of people think, oh, I got to load the bar up on my back. Not necessarily. There's so many variations that you can do if you're a beginner all the way up to a pro master squatter in the powerlifting community. And because you can use a kettlebell, you can use even side loaded dumbbells for your squats. So a lot of variations depending on your skill level. And I think it just really gets a good job at hitting your legs overall, gets a little bit of your glutes in there, your butt. So big fan of squats.
Okay, so a traditional barbell back squat.
Is that what we're...
or any squats. I wasn't sure how specific.
One specific
specific.
What kind of squat is your favorite squat for leg mass?
Yeah, for mass, I'd actually have to go within the sissy squat. Taking that range of motion. Got a big range of motion in there.
I did. No? I did those last week. I wanted to die by the time I was done.
Get a little dumbbell right here.
And then afterwards, I found out his goal was only to make sure I was sore the next day.
Dude, those sissy squats. I've seen too many horror stories with that shit, man.
Well, get a little weight.
ACLs, just
get some weights behind your heels. Elevates,
Man, that's a wild one.
Yeah, if you're for growth. But yeah,
the eccentric loading is
the range of motion. It's crazy.
None. Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay. So number 3 on our list is a barbell sissy squat, correct? That's our third one.
No, just a dumbbell sissy squat.
Yeah, dumbbell sissy squat. Okay.
That'd be insane.
Right. Yeah, that would be fucking insane. Your rotator cuff would be nuts. All right, so that moves us on to number 2. Is that right?
Number 2.
Fuck, man. We talk about, so far, most of these have been either hip dominant or quad dominant variations. We had the Zurcher reverse lunge. We had the sissy squat, again, quad dominant. So when I kind of think about all these things, I think that one of the most important things is hamstring development as well. And we haven't really given those much love. So mine's actually going to be a combo here, right? So this is like 2 and 2.5, which is a traditional knee extension, leg extension machine, because you get a lot more distal quad. I find that when people are a little more hip dominant in a squat, they tend to have bigger upper leg development. Like, so if you look at between your knee and your hip, you kind of cut that in half. The adductors and like basically the upper leg muscles in that quadrant tend to experience a lot more stress. And it seems to be at the expense of a lot of the lower quad, which I find that unless you're deliberately driving your knees forward, like if you're wearing weightlifting shoes, that can be a really great way to target those lower quads. But without having to get too technical, just put someone on a machine, some knee extensions with some isometric holds at the top, meaning your leg is straightened and you're trying to hold it there, will get that distal quad to fire like crazy. So between that, again, traditionally, if I'm doing accessory stuff, single joint stuff, I like it to be single-sided, unilateral, one side at a time to make sure that one's not doing more. My right leg tends to take over a lot. But between that and your prone lying hamstring curl, right? I think that those are really great. One of the strength ratios that you should be aiming for is about 120% between the two. So if you do that, generally speaking, your knee health is going to be pretty sound. If you tend to get overpowered, especially if you get very quad dominant, you may be at a higher risk if you're doing a lot of those explosive activities, or if you're an adult and you're playing basketball or pickup game of some sort, of having that ACL translate a little too much. And that hamstring is supposed to support your ACL in that joint. So that's why I like to see a stronger hamstring. Traditionally, the 125%, just to be clear, is for the quad. So if you think about leg pressing, you should be, or not leg pressing, you should be able to knee extend, like a 10 rep max, I think is what the literature said, 100 pounds. And then your hamstring curl, should be at like 20%, 25% less than that. So 120 knee extension, 100-pound hamstring curl. And that's usually a good way to make sure that you're not running into a risk of injury while you're out and about, or if you're playing any pickup games.
So I have to go out and do 120% of my body weight on the extensions and 100.
No, ratios, not of your body weight. That'd be crazy. That would be nuts.
Just asking questions for clarification here.
100%. Yeah. Of each other. So quad to hamstring ratio, not of your body weight. So listeners, please don't do that. That's fucking nuts.
Got it. So whatever the weight is, the quad should in theory be 120% or 20% more than whatever the hamstring is. Roughly.
Correct. Yeah.
Got it.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. All right. Brandon, number 1. the exercise of all exercises for legs that should be included in every program today.
I think this one doesn't get enough
leg
love.
Lunge press.
What is it?
Single leg lunge press. I don't know. No. Oh, for growth. I'm gonna go with dumbbell RDLs for growth. Actually, wait. The growth part just threw me for a curve, but I'm sticking with it. Not for growth per se, but I think for just for your general health, dumbbell RDLs are great because if you do them properly, I think they get a bad rep because a lot of people will say, oh, my lower back hurts because you're not engaging your hips properly. But when done properly, I think it really gets a good stretch on your hamstrings. And so we're also able to strengthen our hamstrings and lengthen them at the same time. So you're able to get that full range of motion, kind of what we talked about in the bicep exercise video previous podcast. And again, big fan of just trying to get the biggest range of motion just so that we are strengthening the muscle as far that it's able to extend so that it can help prevent injuries if you're playing any sports or pickup sports or even just general daily activities. So yeah, I'd have to say, for me at least, the number one is dumbbell RDLs.
Okay. Can I add a zero? There's something else.
Bonus.
No.
I would. Come on, one more.
You can add a bonus one in. You can add a bonus one in.
The bonus one, if you guys want to grow your legs like crazy, is the most god awful exercise you could probably figure out. Most people have an aversion to rear foot elevated split squats, or what's also called Bulgarian split squats. Huge growth factor. Again, 60% of what you can load both legs with. Add a front rack or a goblet hold to it. So basically you put a barbell across your collarbones and you're supporting it as you're squatting. That tends to cause a lot more distal quad because your knee's going to have to slide a little bit further forward. And you can do that as long as your heel's staying on the ground. But as your leg goes a little bit further forward, as you're staying nice and upright, you're going to have a fucking crazy, crazy leg demand. And none of these exercises are going to be effective if they're easy. So that's the thing. That's the underlying assumption, is that each set that you're doing, what we call target sets, have to elicit fatigue. You have to get tired and very tired by the time you finish whatever number you're on, depending on where that is. If it's tired at 5, if you're tired at 8, if you're tired at 12 or 20, they're going to have different responses in your body. So maybe we can talk about that in a future episode, but just work hard. Make sure you rest adequately. If you can't do the same weight repeatedly, then you're not doing the same type of training. You probably just need to rest a little bit longer. So tips of the trade.
There we have it. The top 5 plus 1 bonus leg exercise that need to be included on every single workout for your clients today. Any questions, throw it in the chat, subscribe, rate, review. We'd love your feedback. And if you want to hear some other exercise tips, let us know where you want us to break down.
There we go. See you guys next time.